John chapter 9, verse 21. By what means he now seeth, we know not. Or who hath opened his eyes, we know not. He is of age. Ask him. He shall speak for himself. These words spake his parents because they feared the Jews, for the Jews had agreed already that if any man did confess that he was Christ, he should be put out of the synagogue. Therefore said his parents, he is of age, ask him. Now it looks like they said this to those that are Pharisees. hmm And then let's see, there's this reiteration of the idea of he is of age, ask him. Now, it's somewhat difficult to understand the Bible. Yes. Because it looks like the parents had told the Pharisees, yeah, by what means he now seeth, we know not, or who hath opened his eyes, we know not. He is of age, ask him. Now these words spake his parents. Now it must be the author of the book, John. Yes. Well, who was it that was explaining what the parents had said? See, this is somewhat confusing. Yeah. It gives this example. Yes. Not believe, called the parents to him that had received it. They asked him, saying, is this your son, who you say was born blind? How then doth he now see? The parents answer them. Yep. Now, is this a verbatim explanation of what the parents said? Yes. Because who is it that is explaining what the parents said? Oh, now these words spake his parents because they feared the Jews, for the Jews had agreed already that if any man did confess that he was Christ, he should be put out of the synagogue. Therefore said his parents, he is of age, ask him. Then again called they the man that was blind, and said unto him, give God the praise. We know that this man is a sinner. Yeah. He answered, said, no, whether he be a sinner or no. I know not. One thing I do know. One thing I know. One thing I know, that whereas I was blind, now I see. Now, I don't know why in verse 23 there's an explanation of what the parents said. Yeah. But it does say he is of age. Ask him. Why don't you ask Zachary today? Why don't you ask Bishop? Why don't you ask Deacon? In fact, why don't you ask Maximilian? Why don't you ask Benjamin? Why don't you ask them? Do you want to be named as the minors named in the protection order? Yes. Where there's forgery and fraud? Yes. And did you have any rights when they issued the dissolution of marriage? Because I never got a copy of it. Why don't you ask my sons what they want and what they don't?